Pause for a moment. Before you move on, consider this carefully. Let me ask you a question that may quietly reshape how you see everything. Do you believe that being good keeps you protected? That kindness acts as armor? That generosity creates loyalty? That honesty guarantees respect? If even one of those feels true to you, then you are standing at the edge of a dangerous misunderstanding. One of the greatest errors people make is assuming that goodness equals safety. But here's the reality few dare to say aloud. Uncontrolled goodness behaves like fire. It does not preserve what you build, it consumes it. Your relationships, your position, your future, all of it. Long ago, in the turning years of the 15th and 16th centuries, there lived a sharp observer of human nature named Machiavelli. He did not hate goodness. He did not mock virtue. He simply watched men closely and refused to lie about what he saw. What he saw will unsettle you because it suggests that what feels right can quietly undo you, and what feels harsh may be the only thing that keeps you standing. Today, I'm going to reveal a truth most people never hear. The hidden price of goodness, the part no one warns you about. In the next few moments, you'll understand why your good nature is not protecting you, why your kindness is not earning respect, and why, instead of being valued, it is often taken advantage of. More importantly, you'll learn how to reshape goodness, not as a weakness, but as a tool of strength. Before we go any further, let me be clear. This is not a lesson in becoming cruel. It is not an invitation to harm others. This is about learning how to be good with intention, not instinct. Because in a world where many are driven by hunger, blind innocence does not survive. So place this thought below and let it guide what follows. I choose deliberate goodness. From this moment forward, things change. You will no longer offer goodness without awareness. You will no longer give without understanding the cost. In this video, we will uncover why goodness does not always shield you, and how, when misunderstood, it quietly dismantles what you build. Then step by step, you will see how to turn it into a form of real power. Let us begin with the first unsettling truth. Number 1, the kind hand that weakens the crown. Goodness is praised by all, yet rewarded by few. Kindness is loved in stories, yet punished in courts. The man who gives freely is called noble until he is empty. The ruler who forgives is admired until he is replaced. There is a comfort in believing that goodness alone protects us. There is danger in believing it too long. In every age, people are taught the same gentle lesson. Be good, and good will return to you. It is a sweet belief. It helps children sleep. It comforts the weak. It makes the world feel fair. But courts are not nurseries. Cities are not built on lullabies. And power does not obey wishes. Goodness, when given without limit, does not inspire loyalty. It invites hunger. This is the truth few wish to touch. A city does not fall when it is attacked. It falls when it leaves its gates open. This is the story of a city that mistook openness for strength and learned too late what open gates truly invite. There was once a city built in a wide valley. Its walls were tall, its gates strong, its people proud. A new ruler came to the throne after his father's death, a young man, sincere and warm-hearted. On his first day, he ordered the gates to remain open from dawn until nightfall. "Let all see that we fear nothing," he said. "Let all know that our city is generous." Travelers entered freely. Merchants smiled. The poor gathered at the steps of the palace, and the ruler gave to them daily coin, bread, pardon. When thieves were caught, he forgave them. When rivals spoke against him, he invited them closer. When old debts were owed, he erased them. The city praised him for a season. Then something quiet began to change. The poor returned, not grateful, but expecting. The forgiven thieves returned, not ashamed, but bolder. The rivals grew louder, not humbled, but confident. The open gates no longer symbolized strength. They symbolized absence. Absence of fear, absence of cost, Absence of consequence. One night when the guards were thin and the ruler was asleep, the city fell, not by force but by familiarity. Those he had fed knew the paths. Those he had forgiven knew the weaknesses. Those he had welcomed knew the doors. The gates were still open when he was removed. Here is what stings. The ruler was not cruel. He was not greedy. He was not foolish in intention. He was foolish in understanding. Human nature does not honor endless giving. It adjusts to it. What costs nothing is valued at nothing. What forgives everything commands nothing. Goodness, when unguarded, does not make you loved. It makes you useful. And people do not protect what they only use. Why this truth hurts? Because many of us build our identity on being good. We say yes when we should pause. We give when we should measure. We forgive when memory would protect us. And when the cost arrives, lost respect, drained energy, quiet resentment, we tell ourselves we were unlucky. We were not unlucky. We were predictable. The world did not betray us. It simply responded. The observer from Florence understood something simple and cold. Goodness must be controlled, not abandoned. Kindness must be timed, not scattered. Mercy must be earned, not expected. A ruler, a leader, a man or woman in any position of influence must learn this early. If your generosity has no edge, it has no weight. People respect what they cannot fully consume. What to do, give slowly. Let your help arrive after thought, not reflex. Attach memory to mercy. Forgiveness should close a chapter, not erase the book. Let your yes feel earned. When people work for your favor, they protect it. Create boundaries that are visible. A wall does not exist to trap. It exists to define. What to stop doing. Stop rescuing those who never stand. You train dependence, not strength. Stop forgiving repeated harm. You are teaching someone how far they can go. Stop believing gratitude lasts. It fades faster than need. Stop thinking restraint is cruelty. It is often mercy to yourself. Many are kind not from strength, but from fear. Fear of being disliked. Fear of being alone. Fear of appearing harsh. But power does not require love. It requires clarity. And clarity often feels cold to those who benefit from your confusion. This is why the lesson is hard, because to practice measured goodness, you must accept a painful thing. Some people will think less of you, and that is the price of being taken seriously. If endless kindness drains you, it is not because you are weak. It is because someone learned you had no gate. And the next lesson is darker still. Because once people stop respecting your goodness, they begin testing your limits. Number 2, the debt that never rests. There is a quiet lie people repeat to themselves. It sounds generous. It sounds noble. It says, if I help them, they will remember. But memory is weak, and debt is restless. Those who receive favors rarely sleep peacefully, for a favor, once given, does not settle the soul. It lingers, it presses, and in time, it seeks escape. Niccolo Machiavelli, a sharp observer of human nature, noticed this not in books, but in men. He saw how gratitude fades, how obligation curdles, and how kindness, once accepted, often becomes something darker. This is the second discomforting truth. Favors do not bind people to you. They burden them. To give is to place weight upon another person's chest. Even when the gift is welcomed, the weight remains. A man who owes you cannot stand freely before you. A woman who depends on you cannot meet your eyes without calculation. Debt creates imbalance. An imbalance breeds unease. People do not hate their benefactors openly. They resent them quietly. A favor is never weightless. Once accepted, it begins to press on the one who receives it. Gratitude fades quickly. Debt does not. This is the story of how help becomes burden, and burden turns into betrayal. There once lived a minor lord whose lands were modest but peaceful. He was known for his generosity. When neighbors fell into hardship, he lent grain. When soldiers lacked horses, he provided mounts. When nearby rulers quarreled, he offered aid without asking for allegiance. One winter, a neighboring noble came to him in desperation. "My lands are frozen," the noble said. "My horses are dead. Lend me one, or my house will fall." The Lord agreed. He gave him his finest horse, strong, fast, admired by all. The noble bowed deeply. He thanked him many times. He promised loyalty. Months passed. The winter thawed. The noble's lands recovered, but the horse was not returned. When asked, the noble delayed. When pressed, he grew irritated. When reminded, he grew cold. Soon he began speaking ill of the Lord. "He thinks himself superior," the noble whispered to others. "He enjoys reminding me of my need. He wishes to keep me small." The Lord was confused. He had spoken no such words, but the debt spoke for him. Eventually, the noble allied with the Lord's rivals. When war came, the borrowed horse led the charge against the man who had given it. Here is the mechanism few understand. A favor places you above someone, and few people are comfortable below. Gratitude is the surface feeling. Resentment is the undercurrent. The longer the debt remains unpaid, the stronger the undercurrent grows. People will do anything to escape the discomfort of owing. Even betrayal feels lighter than obligation. This is why favors often end friendships. This is why generosity destroys influence when misused. This is why those you help most are rarely those who defend you. Why this truth is hard to accept. Because we want to believe help creates loyalty. We want to believe kindness multiplies. We want to believe people are simple. They are not. Human pride is heavier than gratitude, and pride does not like reminders of weakness. Every time your name appears in their mind, it is paired with a moment they were small. They smile, but inside they shrink, and shrinking breeds anger. The lesson was never to stop helping. It was to stop helping in ways that weaken both sides. The observer from Florence did not say, never help. He understood something more precise. Never help in a way that traps another person beneath you. A favor that cannot be repaid becomes a chain. A chain eventually invites rebellion. True influence does not come from making others owe you. It comes from making them choose you. What to do given ways that allow repayment. Let people return the balance quickly, even symbolically. Turn favors into exchanges, not rescues. An exchange preserves dignity. If you give greatly, do it once and release it. Do not remind. Do not wait. Do not hover. Offer opportunities, not lifelines. A bridge is better than a crutch. What to stop doing: stop collecting invisible debts. They will never pay as you expect. Stop reminding people what you've done. Memory sharpens resentment, not loyalty. Stop thinking silence means gratitude. Silence often means discomfort. Stop assuming help equals control. It often equals distance. Being needed feels powerful, but it is a fragile power. The moment the need ends, so does your importance. And what remains is an uncomfortable imbalance that must be corrected. Many correct it by leaving. Some correct it by attacking. Few correct it by thanking you forever. This is why rulers feared dependent allies. This is why wise men avoided unpaid debts. This is why the most stable relationships are built on balance, not rescue. If those you helped now avoid you, it is not mystery, it is relief. And the next lesson is sharper still, because when people no longer feel indebted, they begin to test whether you are still necessary at all. Number 3, the mask of humility and the hunger beneath it. There is a strange comfort in appearing small. Those who bow are rarely suspected. Those who speak softly are often trusted. And those who seem harmless are given access. Power does not always enter a room standing tall. Sometimes it enters with lowered eyes and empty hands. Niccolo Machiavelli, a sharp observer of human nature, understood that humility is not always innocence. Often it is strategy dressed as virtue. And those who confuse the two invite danger without hearing its footsteps. This is the third truth, quiet but lethal. Those who appear weakest are often waiting the longest. People are drawn to what they believe they can control. They relax around the humble. They underestimate the quiet. They overlook the obedient. But underestimation is not kindness. It is an opening. Those who live long within courts, cities, and households learn early. Strength provokes resistance, weakness invites intrusion, and intrusion creates opportunity. Those who speak least often hear the most. In a prosperous court, there lived a servant who spoke little. He moved softly, lowered his head, and accepted every task without complaint. He never argued. He never demanded reward. He thanked those who spoke harshly to him. The nobles saw him as harmless. They spoke freely around him. They mocked rivals in his presence. They revealed fears while he poured wine. They forgot him the moment he left the room. Years passed. The servant learned which alliances were false, which friendships were brittle, which men feared exposure, which women held grudges behind smiles. When the old ruler died without naming a successor, the court erupted in confusion. Accusations flew, secrets surfaced, loyalty shattered. At the center of the storm stood the silent servant. He did not shout. He did not accuse. He simply spoke. Once. And because he knew everything, and because no one had guarded themselves against him, the court bent. By the end of the season, the servant no longer poured wine. Others poured it for him. People reveal themselves most fully when they believe no one is watching. Humility disarms suspicion. Silence invites confession. Obedience grants proximity. This is why the openly ambitious are watched. This is why the loudly confident are challenged. And this is why the quietly compliant are ignored. Ignored until it is too late. Why this truth is difficult? Because we want to believe humility is always moral. We want to believe softness equals safety. We want to believe danger announces itself. It rarely does. Danger often kneels. It agrees. It waits. Those who mistake appearance for intent confuse posture with purpose. And in doing so, they surrender awareness. Not all humility is honest. True humility knows its limits and accepts them. Strategic smallness hides its reach. One is peace with oneself. The other is patience with others' blindness. The observer from Florence saw that many who claim humility are not shrinking. They are gathering. And those who reward apparent weakness without observation often fund their own undoing. What to do? Watch the quiet ones carefully. Silence is not emptiness. It is often storage. Separate behavior from capacity. A bowed head may hide sharp vision, limit access, not based on noise but on knowledge. Those who know much should be watched most. Reward humility, but never assume it removes ambition. Ambition often learns to whisper. What to stop doing? Stop mistaking obedience for loyalty. Obedience can be rented. Stop revealing thoughts around those you dismiss. Dismissal creates carelessness. Stop assuming power looks powerful. It often looks patient. Stop trusting appearances. They are designed for your comfort, not your safety. Because admitting this truth forces a reckoning. Not everyone who smiles means well. Not everyone who agrees believes. Not everyone who serves intends to remain so. And this unsettles the hope that the world is simple. But courts were never simple, cities were never honest, and human nature was never transparent. If you feel safe because someone seems small, ask yourself why. Safety built on assumption is the weakest kind. And the next lesson cuts deeper still. Because once people learn how you judge strength, they learn exactly how to approach you. Number 4, the price of being loved. To be loved feels safe. To be admired feels warm. To be welcomed feels like protection. But love is a guest that leaves when hunger arrives. Those who chase affection often lose authority without noticing. And those who trade firmness for applause wake one day to find themselves surrounded and unsupported. Niccolo Machiavelli, a sharp observer of human nature, saw this pattern repeat across cities and courts. He did not deny the sweetness of love. He simply understood its weakness when tested. This is the fourth truth, calm and cutting. Love comforts power, but it does not defend it. Love depends on feeling. Feeling changes with weather, fortune, and fear. When times are good, affection flows easily. When times tighten, affection asks questions. Power cannot afford to ask for permission when danger comes. Those who rule by love must constantly please. Those who rule by respect must only remain steady, and steadiness lasts longer than charm. Kindness is remembered until it is tested. There was once a king known for his gentle voice. He walked among his people without guards. He listened to complaints patiently. He granted requests freely. His name was spoken with affection in every market. "He is one of us," the people said. When famine struck a distant province, the king ordered higher grain stores for the capital to prevent panic. It was a wise decision, but an unpopular one. The people murmured. The king explained. They listened, but did not like the answer. Soon after, bandits began raiding the outskirts. The king ordered stricter patrols and harsher punishment. Again, the decision was wise. Again, the people frowned. "You have changed," they said. "You were kinder before." When the king needed men to stand firm at the walls, many hesitated, not because they hated him, but because their love had cooled. Love had not prepared them for sacrifice. By the time the city understood the danger, the walls were thin, and so was loyalty. Love expects consistency of comfort. Power requires consistency of decision. The moment power causes discomfort, love begins to bargain. Affection asks, "Why should I suffer?" Respect asks, "What must be done?" This is why rulers who rely on love fear necessary action. They delay, they soften, they explain too much. An explanation is not authority. Why this truth is hard to swallow? Because many believe being loved proves goodness. They equate affection with virtue. They fear being disliked as failure. But dislike is not danger. Disrespect is. A ruler may survive being unloved. He will not survive being ignored. The observer from Florence understood that people forgive severity more easily than weakness, because severity feels purposeful, while weakness feels contagious. This lesson is often misunderstood. It is not that fear should replace love. It is that fear of consequence must exist beneath affection. Love without consequence is indulgence. Consequence without malice is order. People follow those who can protect them, even from themselves. What to do? Seek respect before affection. Affection will follow stability. Make decisions calmly, not apologetically. Confidence reduces resistance. Let your standards remain firm during discomfort. Consistency builds trust deeper than charm. Allow people to dislike decisions without chasing their approval. Dislike fades. Structure remains. What to stop doing? Stop softening necessary actions to preserve popularity. Popularity is temporary. Stop explaining yourself to those who already doubt you. Explanation invites negotiation. Stop measuring success by praise. Praise is weather, not ground. Stop fearing cold moments. Cold moments reveal true alignment. The desire to be loved often hides a deeper fear, the fear of standing alone. But leadership, influence, and authority all require moments of solitude. Moments when you cannot lean on affection, only on clarity. Those who cannot bear temporary unlove will never hold lasting power. If you are afraid to be disliked, ask yourself why. Because the next lesson is colder still. It reveals what happens when people sense that your greatest weakness is your need for their approval. Number 5, the illusion of loyalty. Loyalty is spoken of as if it were permanent. As if once earned, it settles like stone. As if hearts once pledged do not move. But loyalty is not stone. It is sand, held in place only while pressure remains balanced. Niccolo Machiavelli, a sharp observer of human nature, noticed that men praise loyalty most loudly when they feel safest, and they abandon it most quietly when they feel exposed. This is the fifth truth, unsettling in its calm. Loyalty survives only where interest and fear quietly agree. People say, "He stood by me." They rarely ask, why? Loyalty is not born from goodness, it is born from alignment. When alignment breaks, loyalty loosens. When fear disappears, loyalty wanders. When advantage shifts, loyalty follows. This is not evil, it is nature. And those who deny this truth are often the most surprised when abandoned. Trust decays when power settles. There was a ruler who trusted one man above all others. This man had stood beside him in early struggles, guarded his chambers, led his forces, and shared his table. "He is loyal," the ruler said. "He has proven it." Years passed. The ruler grew comfortable. He no longer watched closely. He no longer rewarded often. He no longer reminded others where authority rested. The captain grew powerful. He commanded men who owed their positions to him. He controlled gates, schedules, and access. When neighboring cities began to whisper of change, they did not speak to the ruler. They spoke to the captain. The captain did not betray out of hatred. He did not betray out of greed. He betrayed because the balance had shifted. His loyalty had been real until it became unnecessary. When the ruler realized this, he asked, "Why?" The answer was simple and cruel. You stop being the strongest place to stand. Loyalty is sustained by three forces: benefit, the advantage of staying close; fear, the cost of leaving; identity, the belief that staying defines who one is. Remove two, and loyalty weakens. Remove all three, and it vanishes. Most people mistake shared history for permanence, but memory does not outweigh opportunity. People honor the past until the future offers more. Why this truth is so uncomfortable? Because we want loyalty to mean something pure. We want it to feel earned forever. We want to believe that time invested cannot be undone. But time is not a chain, it is only a story. And stories change when circumstances change. Those who rely on loyalty alone often stop reinforcing it. They assume affection replaces structure. They assume gratitude replaces vigilance. It does not. The Florentine observer understood that loyalty must be maintained, not assumed. He did not suggest paranoia. He suggested awareness. Trust, but do not relax. Reward, but do not vanish. Elevate, but never disappear from sight. Loyalty weakens fastest when power feels absent. What to do: regularly renew alignment. Make it clear why standing with you still matters. Distribute dependence, not dominance. Never allow one person to become the sole pillar. Keep authority visible. Presence reminds others where order begins. Reward loyalty quietly but consistently. Neglect breeds imagination. What to stop doing? Stop assuming history protects you. It only explains you. Stop giving unchecked control. Control without oversight becomes independence. Stop confusing closeness with safety. Proximity increases opportunity. Stop believing loyalty survives neglect. Neglect invites alternatives. Many fear this lesson because it forces a painful realization that even those closest to you are choosing every day to remain. And choice can change. But this knowledge does not weaken you, it sharpens you. Because once you understand loyalty as balance, you stop begging for it and start structuring it. If you believe loyalty alone protects you, ask yourself this: what happens the moment staying costs more than leaving? Because the next lesson reveals something colder still. What people do when they sense your power is fading, even before you do. Number 6, when power begins to fade. Power does not disappear loudly. It does not announce it's leaving. It slips away in glances, pauses, and delays. By the time orders are questioned openly, power is already wounded. Niccolò Machiavelli, a sharp observer of human nature, understood that decline is always sensed before it is seen. People feel weakening authority the way animals sense a coming storm, instinctively, silently, and early. This is the sixth truth, cold and precise. Power is lost the moment others believe it can be challenged. Power lives as much in perception as in reality. A ruler may still hold the crown, the guards, the law. Yet if hesitation appears, belief begins to crack. People watch for signs, a delayed decision, an order softened, a punishment avoided, a boundary explained instead of enforced. None of these seem fatal alone. Together they form a signal, and once the signal is sent, it cannot be recalled. Hesitation teaches others to test. There was a ruler who had governed wisely for many years. His voice once silenced rooms. His presence once settled disputes before words were spoken. As age crept in, he did not grow cruel. He grew careful. He listened longer. He reconsidered often. He sought harmony where he once commanded. His intentions were noble, but the court noticed. Requests became bolder. Disagreements lingered. Instructions were followed slowly, then selectively. One day a minor order was ignored. The ruler corrected it gently. The court exchanged glances. From that moment, every instruction was tested, not out of hatred, but curiosity. They wanted to know, how far can we go? The ruler never answered clearly, and so they answered for him. Power is measured not by force, but by response. How quickly do others obey? How completely do they comply? How little do they debate? The moment response weakens, power is already leaking. And here is the cruelty of it. Once people begin testing you, they cannot unlearn the result. Even if you later act harshly, the memory of softness remains. Why this truth terrifies? Because it reveals that power is not stable. It requires constant reinforcement, not drama, but clarity. Many fear this lesson because they confuse firmness with cruelty. They fear becoming someone they do not recognize. But restraint without authority is not kindness. It is surrender disguised as patience. The observer from Florence saw rulers fall not because they were hated, but because they hesitated when clarity was required. Power weakens fastest when you explain instead of decide, you delay instead of act, you hope instead of confirm, you compromise before being tested. These moments feel reasonable. They feel humane, but they teach others a dangerous lesson. That pressure works on you. What to do, act decisively in small matters. Small firmness prevents large rebellion. Correct disobedience immediately and calmly. Delay invites repetition. Keep consequences predictable. Uncertainty encourages testing. Maintain visible resolve, even when unsure. Resolve reassures more than perfection. What to stop doing? Stop softening boundaries after they are crossed. That teaches strategy. Stop negotiating authority. Authority that negotiates is already weakened. Stop hoping respect will return on its own. It does not. Stop mistaking hesitation for wisdom. Wisdom still moves. Holding power requires accepting an uncomfortable role. You must sometimes disappoint. You must sometimes refuse. You must sometimes end discussion. Not because you enjoy it, but because order requires it. Those who cannot bear this weight slowly give it away, and are then crushed by the chaos that follows. If you sense people pushing gently against your limits, do not dismiss it. They are measuring something. And the next lesson is the most dangerous yet, because it reveals what happens when people realize they no longer fear losing you. Number 7, when fear disappears. Fear is misunderstood. It is spoken of as something ugly, something to erase. But fear, when quiet and measured, is not cruelty. It is structure. Niccolò Machiavelli, a sharp observer of human nature, saw that fear does not destroy order. Its absence does. And when fear vanishes completely, something far more dangerous takes its place: boldness without restraint. This is the seventh truth, stripped of comfort. When people stop fearing consequence, they stop respecting limits. Fear does not mean terror. It does not mean rage or violence. It means awareness of cost. When cost is clear, behavior is controlled. When cost is uncertain, behavior experiments. When cost disappears, behavior collapses. Fear is not the enemy of harmony. It is the frame that holds harmony in place. Forgiveness teaches behavior. There was once a judge celebrated for his compassion. He listened patiently, forgave easily, and reduced punishment whenever possible. The people praised him for his mercy. Justice has become gentle, they said. At first, disputes lessened. People felt understood. But slowly, cases returned, then multiplied. Petty theft became common. Agreements were broken casually. Witnesses lied without trembling. The judge continued to forgive. He hoped gratitude would restrain them. It did not. Soon the courtroom was full every day, not with confusion, but confidence. People no longer feared judgment. They calculated it. By the time the judge realized mercy had become permission, the city had changed. Order no longer lived in law. It lived in opportunity. Fear answers a simple question in every human mind. What happens if I cross this line? If the answer is unclear, the line fades. If the answer is mild, the line moves. If the answer is firm, the line holds. This is why boundaries without consequence are imaginary. This is why warnings without action are invitations. The observer from Florence understood that fear does not need to be constant. It only needs to be credible. Why this truth is resisted? Because fear sounds immoral, because it reminds us of darker instincts, because we want to believe people choose restraint willingly. Some do, most do not, consistently. Restraint is easier when enforced externally than when expected internally. Those who reject this truth often believe themselves enlightened, until disorder reaches them personally. Fear must be predictable, not chaotic, impersonal, not emotional, proportionate, not excessive. Fear tied to mood creates hatred. Fear tied to structure creates stability. People accept consequence more easily than uncertainty. What to do make consequences clear before they are needed. Clarity prevents confrontation. Enforce rules without anger. Calm firmness builds legitimacy. Act once decisively when lines are crossed. One clear response prevents many future ones. Let fear live quietly in the background. It should be felt, not flaunted. What to stop doing? Stop avoiding consequence to seem kind. Kindness without limits breeds harm. Stop warning repeatedly without action. You weaken your own voice. Stop personalizing enforcement. Make it about order, not ego. Stop believing fear and respect cannot coexist. They often depend on each other. Fear does not leave all at once. It erodes. First, people joke about rules. Then they bend them. Then they challenge them. Finally, they ignore them. By the time you feel disrespected openly, fear has been gone for a long time, and restoring it is far harder than maintaining it. If no one worries about crossing you anymore, ask yourself why. Because the final lesson is the coldest of all. It reveals what remains when love fades, loyalty shifts, fear dissolves, and only truth is left standing. Number 8. The final truth: power never forgives. In the end, power does not ask who you are. It asks only what remains when everything else is stripped away. When love has cooled, when loyalty has shifted, when fear has thinned, when excuses have expired. What remains is truth. Niccolo Machiavelli, a sharp observer of human nature, understood that power does not reward intention. It does not honor effort. It does not care how good you meant to be. It only respects what cannot be ignored. This is the final truth. Quiet, absolute, and irreversible. Power belongs to those who are prepared to stand alone with it. There comes a moment in every life of influence, large or small, when the noise fades. No praise, no allies speaking first, no crowd to hide within, only decision. In that moment, every illusion collapses. Kindness no longer protects you. History no longer defends you. Explanations no longer matter. What you have built either stands or it does not. Unfinished authority invites replacement. There was once a ruler who had mastered every visible art of power. He was loved in public, respected in council, feared enough to be obeyed. But beneath this balance, he avoided one thing: finality. He delayed endings. He postponed confrontations. He allowed threats to linger unresolved, not from weakness, but from hope. Hope that things would settle on their own. One night, illness took him suddenly. By morning, the throne stood empty. The court gathered, and in that silence, something was revealed. No one knew who truly held authority. Each faction claimed loyalty. Each ally remembered favors. Each rival saw opportunity. The ruler had been the center, but never the anchor. By nightfall, the city belonged to whoever acted first, not whoever had been best. Power does not transfer through affection, it transfers through structure. If order depends on your presence, it is fragile. If obedience depends on your voice, it is temporary. If loyalty depends on your kindness, it is borrowed. True power survives absence, and this is what most never build. They become indispensable instead of replaceable by design. They become central instead of foundational. They become liked instead of feared enough to be respected without them. And when they fall or step aside, everything collapses. Why this truth is the hardest? Because it demands something rare: detachment. Detachment from applause, detachment from gratitude, detachment from being needed. To build lasting power, you must accept that you will not always be thanked. And you must be willing to be misunderstood while you prepare what others cannot see. Most cannot bear this loneliness, so they trade permanence for comfort. The Florentine observer knew that power is not proven in moments of action, but in moments of absence. Ask yourself, if you step away, does order remain? If you fall silent, do decisions still follow your design? If you are gone, does your will still move? If the answer is no, then you did not hold power. You only performed it. What to do: build systems that function without your presence. Authority must outlive the voice. Resolve threats fully, not partially. Unfinished business always returns. Make yourself unnecessary, but not forgotten. Influence should echo, not cling. Accept solitude as the price of clarity. The lonely path is often the correct one. What to stop doing? Stop needing recognition to act. Power works best unseen. Stop delaying endings out of hope. Hope is not strategy. Stop confusing movement with control. Noise often hides weakness. Stop fearing the moment you stand alone. That moment defines you. Once you understand this final lesson, something changes. You stop chasing approval. You stop counting loyalty. You stop fearing disapproval. Because you see clearly now, power does not care how you feel about it. It only responds to structure, decisiveness, and finality. Those who master this live quietly. Those who ignore it are remembered briefly. Those who resist it are removed. If everything you built requires you to hold it together, then the moment you weaken, it will tear you apart. This is not a threat, it is a description. If you'd like more videos on psychology, strategy, and human behavior, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and share your thoughts in the comments.